Hi, my name's Ken Colby. I'm the author of Green Screen Wizard. Today I'm excited to show you the new 7.0 version of our full software. Now the full software is our entry-level software. It sells for 130 bucks, and unlike our old version that sold for $99, this version has full sandwich overlay capability. And we'll talk some more about what that is and how to use it later. But for now, let's explain a little bit about how green screen software works. So here's a picture. You don't actually have to have a studio. You can shoot outdoors. Uh, this shows the green screen that's tacked up and a person taking their photo. And this is basically a setup that you would need to do it at home. Of course, a studio setup with studio lights is always better. And you can go to our website and there's some articles about green screen lighting. But the point I want to get across is that Green Screen Wizard's going to remove the green and replace it with the background. Okay? So that's basically how it works. It finds all the green in the photo and then it replaces it with the background. Now normally this would be a simple thing, but let's say for example that we have a person with blonde hair standing in front of the green screen. Well, their blonde hair, if you ever saw a blonde standing in the sun, you notice that the sun goes through her hair. Well, the green light goes through her hair as well, except it doesn't stay green. It gets changed in color. Okay? So now we have a dilemma. If we delete just the green in the green screen, you'll have chunks of green in the person's hair. If we delete everything that's green in the whole scene, then chunks of her hair will disappear. So what you have to do is you actually have to change the color of the green back to the original color of the hair, but make it somewhat transparent. This is a somewhat difficult computational task, and we have a proprietary algorithm that we use, which I think is one of the better in the industry. In fact, I think it's the best. But anyways, so that's how it works. Basically, you have to have a person on a green screen with minimal shadows, and then you can do green screen processing. So let's load our buddy Jeremy here the way it should be, in which the green screen totally covers the frame of the photo. And there it is. That's all you have to do. So you can load a foreground or you can load a background. Okay. So now that's really all there is to using Green Screen Wizard. Load a foreground, load a background. It scales everything to the image size you want. It automatically removes the green. It detects spills and tries to fix it. Okay, so what else can you do with Green Screen Wizard Full? Well, let's take a look. We have some adjustments in case the picture that came in wasn't the right color, or brightness, I mean. We have color, we have scaling, and this shows you that truly we have a foreground and a background. Okay. We have clipping, which I'll show you, demonstrate later. Rotate, so for example, we can flip horizontally or rotate the image in case it came in at the wrong rotation. And then we have a lot of options for combine. With the new 7.0, the combine's working so well that these aren't quite as important as they used to be, but they're still there. They still give you some hints. For example, if we had a lot of black on here, we might say that we had some shadows. Okay, and that would get rid of some of that black. Okay. All right. So let's load a image that's slightly more difficult. Okay, and we'll load a background that goes with it. And we see a bunch of problems. She doesn't really sit right in the background. We've got this big black streak here and part of the ceiling. So if we turn off green screen processing for a second, you see the problem. I didn't pull the screen tight and there's a big black line. Well, Green Screen Wizard can't tell the difference between a black line and a black seat. So we have to find a way to get rid of that. Okay. So there's 3 different ways in Green Screen Wizard to do it, but the easiest one is with Pick Adjust. What that does is that gives us a bunch of different variations of the same image. Now the only variation that has no streak at all is here. So we could select that, and it's actually very clean. But if you notice, we've got a little chunk taken out of our harp here. So let's pick again. I'll take the second one. So we're left with a big ugly black line here and something along the top. And also we don't fit. So let's do some scaling before we do anything else. And this is new in 7.0. You can actually scale from the front of the picture. So we're going to first scale the background. Now you scale it by clicking on your right button and going up makes the image a little larger. Okay. You go with your left button and you can slide it up. Okay. Now you can also use this scale so you can see the background. You can see when the background leaves the background area. I personally still think it's a little easier to do this, but a lot of people like to do it on the front page. Okay. So now she's fitting pretty well. So what else can we do to this? Well, we want to get rid of this left black streak and this ugly ceiling. So we could put it in the old days, you had to put it in another photo program. And with the Pro version, you can use our editor. But for now, we do have this clip. So the clip from the top will clip out the top of the image. Okay. And then clip from the left, we'll clip that up. And voila, a beautiful image. Okay. So that shows clipping. It shows a little bit of movement. Oops, now I see. Need a little more on the top there. There we go. Anyways, so let's load a new foreground and show you some more stuff. So let's load a picture of our bride and let's load a background. Now this is a background of the flower bridge, but notice it's wider than it is tall. Okay. So it's still a pretty picture, but it would probably be even nicer if we did it horizontally. So we change the format to horizontal. By the way, this slider changes the size of the image and also what's called the DPI, or how fine-grained it is. So a higher DPI means a higher resolution, better image. It just takes a little more time. So for demo mode, I'm staying in 300. If I was going to print this, I would probably turn it up to 300. Okay. So let's use our mouse move to move. Oops, is that the wrong thing? Okay, put our background back where it was. And we actually want to move the foreground. Okay. So now that looks nice, but if you know the rule of thirds, so we have 2/3 of the photo empty and another third with our subject in it. And I should probably move them over just a bit more. Unfortunately, she's kind of facing the wrong way. But no fear, we have a rotation system and we can do a flip horizontal. There. Now she's fine. She's looking great, facing in, beautiful photo. Anyone would be happy with it. But just to make life interesting, let's try another background. So let's put her on the ocean at a sunset. Now with fill and flash, you could justify the fact that she's much brighter than the surrounding sunset. But for this example, I want to show you some of the color correction capabilities. So what we want to do is we want to try to give her that warm orangey glow. So we're going to take out a little green in the foreground and a little bit of blue. And there she goes, looking pretty good. Exposure wise, we might want to make her just a little darker. All right. Now we can make her way darker, and that's going to mess us up, or way too bright. So we just want to make it a little bit. Okay. So now the bride is matching the foreground. The foreground of the bride is matching the background. So what effects can we do? Well, we can add a title. All right, we'll make the title cursive, and I think we'll send it to the left, top left. And we got to remember what date we got married, right? 2012. And we might want to stick a comma in there. And probably make it white because it doesn't show up too well. And there you go. So the labeling in the full version's pretty basic. But if you just have to put out a caption or a date or something on it, you can do that. The full version, or the Pro version, has much more extensive text capabilities. Okay? All right. Let's this nice lady. Let's go back to a vertical format. Load a different background so we can see her hair a little better. Okay. So here, this time rather than just doing pick adjust, we'll do the combine. Now you can see that if I click black hair, it gets a little better. It's kind of hard to see, it's very subtle. But you can see it here more dramatically. If I say I had dark shadows, look how it wipes out her hair. Now, in the old days, I used to leave this thing set to dark shadows, and people had to come back and click black hair to get the image back. But I decided to trust you folks in taking good pictures so that the majority of the time the picture will come out right from the beginning, as long as you've exposed the background properly. Now this is what we call our simple or our easy combine. We also have, you can click this button down here and we'll show you some detailed settings. This is what I normally use because it gives you a lot more fine control. So for example in hair, you can see we're getting rid of it, restoring, restoring, restoring. Okay. Now there's other thing, you can ask it to be a little less transparent. Then you can actually turn this up a bit. Well, now she's got all kinds of hair. Okay. So those are some of the adjustments that you can do. So you have the detail combine and the the regular. Now I should mention that all of these have a help button. And then if you click help, it should load it. There it goes. And this will show you all the settings in the combine. So there's a help page for every single item in Green Screen Wizard. Okay, let's try something else. So let's load our blue screen, open, and we'll load a different background. And you can see it doesn't do much. In fact, the flowers that she's holding disappeared. That's where these other items come in. So you can say no green screen processing, I showed you that. But we also have blue screen processing. Now what that does is it obviously works with a blue screen. So it's looking for blue, and it will replace the blue in the background. Now I have to be honest, the blue screen processing is not quite as good as the green screen processing. So I would use a green screen in most cases, particularly with if you buy the Pro version, because you can restore the green using the editor. But if you are using this and you run into a team that has, like a sports team that has green jerseys, well, you're better off using a blue screen. Now people ask me, well, why blue and why green? Well, first of all, the green and the green screen is not very common, not something that people commonly wear. Whereas the blue and the blue screen, people have blue eyes, they have blue jeans. All those things can be a problem when you wear when you do the blue screen processing. Okay. So let's go to a couple of our effects, first of all, and again to show you that hair is always an issue with green screeners. In the past, people wouldn't use it because the hair was such an issue. Let me just blow her up so you can see that. But you can see what a great job Green Screen Wizard did with the hair. Let's go into our combine now. And because we're experts, we'll go into the, well, we can show you the difference. Red hair, I don't know if you can really see it, but when it's brown, it's got kind of a greeny tint to it. And if you click in red, it gets rid of that. Okay. If we look at our detailed settings, you'll see that the green areas, if you go to the right, see how green her hair is getting? That's all the green that's not part of the green screen, so it's a different color. And then if we go, now you can see it's taking too much out. See how her hair turned pink and kind of blotchy? So you have to kind of pick the right thing. Usually the default's pretty close, but a lot of times I'll move this a little to the left just to get a little more pink and red hair. So the two sliders that you use the most are the green slider and the dark slider. Okay. All right. So one of the new things in Green Screen Wizard 7 Full is in the past we only allowed a single overlay, but I raised the price from $99 to $130 to allow people to use all the overlays. And this is a particularly nice feature. So you don't have to go all the way up to the Pro version anymore to use the overlays. So we have this, if you want to use automatic load, you can pick either the foreground or the background and it'll find a matching thing. So here, for example, is the beautiful swimsuit model. Now, she's actually on top of the word swimsuit modeling and underneath the text, which is the way a lot of magazine covers work. So you can do magazine covers and you can do all kinds of cool sandwich overlays. And let's show you one more sandwich overlay here. So we'll do load and find beautiful Ruby. Okay. And we go to effects, automatic load, Christmas. And there you go. So she's in the Christmas globe. Maybe we want to add a few labels, like Merry Christmas. And then the note text, maybe, and then say from Julie, Chuck, and Ruth. And again, we'll go with white and we'll make it cursive. All right, so there's this year's Christmas card all done. Now this is part of the sandwich overlays that come with the Christmas collection. But we have all kinds of different sandwich overlays. You can see those on our website. So this pretty much concludes the overview of what you can do with Green Screen Wizard Full. For $70 more, you can buy the Pro version, which has a built-in editor and some special effects. And then for another $50 after that, you can buy the Pro Batch version. Pro Batch version allows you to do emailing and batching and something we call event mode. So if you're an event photographer or school photographer, you would buy the Pro version, Pro Batch version. Most people I recommend buy the just the regular Pro version, the Pro Studio version. It's particularly great for photographers. I meant for studio photographers that do portraits. Now, I hope you enjoy it. We have a free demo, so just download it. And thank you very much for listening. I hope you enjoyed it.